was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like, because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like, multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they rap for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to...
Angel Reese made a significant mistake by blaming Caitlin Clark's fans for sexualizing her. Jason Whitlock promptly criticized Reese for her irresponsible comments, noting that after reviewing her social media, it's evident that no one needs to sexualize her. She is doing that herself.
She puts herself out there, even on this podcast. Stomach out, breasts barely hidden, legs front and center everywhere. She has sexualized herself. And now, I'm shocked. People are sexualizing me. And somehow she's connecting it to being a Caitlin Clark fan. I just don't see the connection.
Angel Reese made a serious error by accusing Caitlin Clark's fans of sexualizing her. Jason Whitlock quickly called out Reese for her careless remarks, pointing out that after looking at her social media, it's clear that no one needs to sexualize her. She is doing it herself.
If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
Reese claims to be a victim. But have you seen her Instagram? It tells a different story. Caitlin Clark's fans can see it, Reese's fans can see it, and the whole world can see it. Stephen A. Smith says that Angel Reese has made a significant mistake by targeting Caitlin Clark's fans.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. And Angel Reese is to be completely believed that there's no hate. They both get along. They're cool with each other. They're high-end competitors, etc., etc. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship. And you also are old enough to know that in this society, whether they want to admit it or not, they don't like seeing somebody black coming at somebody white who is a beloved star of theirs.
Reese's biggest mistake isn't just blaming a superstar's fans, it's that her claims lack substantial evidence to support them. This leaves fans questioning how much of her story is even true.
We have so much fun with it, but when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people who come down to my address, follow me home, like, it's come down to that.
Hold on, I have one question.
Wait a minute.
How did she know that the people following her home were Caitlin Clark fans?
Hold on, I have a question. How did she know that the people following her home were Caitlin Clark fans? Were they wearing a number 22 jersey? It seems to me that she is trying to damage the image of Caitlin Clark and her fans while seeking sympathy, but it has backfired on her.
Caitlin Clark fans are the reason people are making naked AI pictures of me. How do you get there? What does that have to do with Caitlin Clark? She puts herself out there, even on this podcast.
Let's take a closer look at what Angel Reese actually said. She mentioned during a press conference after the season that she had been sexualized on multiple occasions. She claimed that people even created AI-generated images of her appearing naked. That's a serious accusation. When someone makes such a claim, people typically rally to support them, but this situation is quite different.
Blaming her fans for people following you home or, these alleged death threats. This Caitlin Clark has nothing to do with that. You've made yourself a target. It's no different, Steve.
Let's take a closer look at what Angel Reese actually said. She mentioned during a press conference after the season that she had been sexualized on multiple occasions. She claimed that people even created AI-generated images of her appearing naked. That's a serious accusation. When someone makes such a claim, people typically rally to support them, but this situation is quite different.
You know, people say rebounding is Angel Reese's greatest skill. No, it's not. It's victimhood. And as you mentioned, Jason, nobody has sexualized Angel Reese quite like Angel Reese. And so let's take her at face value for what she said about her family members. You're telling me your family members, if they really cared about you, wouldn't have told you 9 months ago, like, Angel, put on some damn clothes. She literally does does a runway walk based on what she's wearing before every game, what did you think was going to happen?
Now here's where things get interesting. Fans started investigating Reese's social media, and what they discovered has sparked a major conversation. Her Instagram is filled with revealing content that she posted herself. You might be wondering if this contradicts her claims, and you're not alone in questioning it. There's a growing belief that Reese may be trying to mislead everyone and tarnish Caitlyn's reputation. Many are calling her out for what they see as hypocrisy, with some suggesting that Angel Reese is simply jealous of Caitlin Clark. We have a lot of evidence to support that idea.
Basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person.
Yeah, that's right.
Reese is being reduced or possible upgrade to a playground.
I think it'll be upgraded here.
This entire situation is causing a significant stir in the world of women's basketball. Fans who once supported Reese are now doubting her every word. There's a growing sense of disappointment, as it seems the integrity of the game is being overshadowed by personal vendettas and attempts to gain attention.
Everything bad that happens to me is somehow connected to Caitlin Clark. That's stupid, it's dishonest, she's just clout chasing, she's using Caitlin Clark, and then she goes, I don't think Caitlin Clark has hatred towards me. What has Caitlin Clark done to you?
Everything bad that happens to me is somehow connected to Caitlin Clark. That's ridiculous and dishonest. She's just chasing clout by using Caitlin Clark's name. Then she says, I don't think Caitlin Clark has any hatred toward me, but what has Caitlin Clark actually done to you? So the real question is Reese truly facing harassment, or is she just stirring up drama for attention?
The other thing is, if there are death threats and threats of violence, I have a hard time believing that this would not have been reported and blown up into a story. I wonder, are there police reports? Is there a logging of this? Or again, is this her version of the graffiti on LeBron James's property?
Even though Angel Reese's claims lack solid evidence, there are still people who jump to her defense without hesitation. Some support her even when the facts don't add up. One of those people is Renee Montgomery, the current vice president, part owner, and investor of the WNBA team Atlanta Dream. She has made some pretty controversial statements herself, including claiming that Caitlin Clark fans aren't part of the WNBA. In her own words, they are not like us.
Representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
She's saying that Caitlin Clark's fans are full of hate and not like the other WNBA fans. First of all, I don't believe Caitlin's fans are like that. Second, she's wrong about the other WNBA fans because Sabrina Ionescu faced a lot of issues last year, long before Caitlin was in the spotlight. Sabrina even had to deactivate her Twitter, but apparently that's no big deal. It's absurd. It's ironic how people completely ignore all the hate Caitlin Clark receives, acting as if it doesn't even exist. I wonder why that is.
Hard Falcons fan can hate the Saints, but they would be going a little bit too far if they created nude AI pictures of Saints players and then sent them to the Saints players' families. That's what Caitlin stans have done to Angel Reese. A diehard Tennessee Vols fan could have hated. They sent death threats to the UConn players. And that's what they've done. That's what Caitlin stans have done.
Caitlin and her fans may be new to the scene, but labeling them as toxic and hateful is simply wrong. It's highly irresponsible, especially for a team owner, to suggest otherwise. This not only lacks accountability, but also harms the league as a whole.
You know, I know she's just 22, but she's just dragging Caitlin Clark. This, to me, is the worst thing she's done to Caitlin Clark, and it's bad.
Yes, fans hating on other players is an issue, but it's not just Caitlin Clark's fans. In fact, Caitlin faces more of it than most. The words of Angel Reese and Renee Montgomery only serve to further divide the fan base. It pushes potential new fans away from the league, labels Caitlin's entire fan base as racist or sexist, and in a way, encourages other fan bases to continue the same toxic behavior because it seems like only Caitlin's fans are being called out.
Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is capturing global attention, and people are starting to compare her to legends like LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Honestly, those comparisons aren't without merit. She's bringing a whole new audience to the game, and everyone wants to see her play. Her ability to finish strong at the rim is why people are drawing parallels to LeBron. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with Angel Reese bad-mouthing Caitlin Clark? Let me explain first. Watch this.
Angel Reese is actually paying the cost at this moment from attaching her brand to Caitlin Clark's brand.
While some are comparing Caitlin to legends, others legends themselves are acknowledging her talent. Meanwhile, even Angel Reese's supporters are starting to shift toward supporting Caitlin Clark. Recently, Shaquille O'Neal, who was a Reese supporter, admitted he was wrong to overlook Caitlin's performance and acknowledged that she's the real deal. Given that Angel considers Caitlin her rival, this must have been a blow to her ego.
What is Angel Reese doing on the 50 most influential people in sports figures? Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games?
This makes sense because the first thing Angel Reese talked about after launching her podcast was Caitlin Clark. That's probably the funniest part of this whole situation. Angel is still using Caitlin's name to get views on her podcast. Her first episode is titled Angel Reese Spills the Tea on Caitlin Clark, Her Love Life, LSU Rumors, and more. And right at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. Naturally, the internet did what it does best, called her out. People were asking, why is Caitlin Clark in your thumbnail? Are you just trying to use her fame for views? People didn't hold back questioning her left and right, so much so that Angel Reese had to make a move and change the thumbnail. What is Angel Reese doing on the list of the 50 most influential people in sports? Are you kidding me? A woman known for rebounding and showing up half-dressed to games. Have you ever heard the story of the boy who cried wolf? It's about a young shepherd who tricked the villagers by falsely crying for help, claiming a wolf was attacking his sheep. After a few false alarms, when a real wolf appeared, no one believed him, and he lost everything. I hope this doesn't happen to Angel or anyone else, but Angel Reese has been playing the victim for quite some time.
Lost everything. I hope this does not happen with Angel or anybody else, but Angel Reese has been playing a victim for a long time.
Death threats, I've been sexualized, I've been threatened, I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. We have so much fun with it, but when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like I'm talking about people who come down to my address, follow me home. Like it's come down to that.
She's calling Caitlin Clark fans the wolf without giving any proof. And if she continues it, people will stop believing her. Tell me, do you think Caitlin Clark fans are like that? Comment below.